Hi, I'm Wanda with Jimmy Branch Homestead, and we had a severe windstorm with high wind speeds, approximately 70 to 100 miles an hour, and a tornado that came through. We have been out of power since early Saturday morning, and today is Wednesday. So there's only 2 of us in our household, so typically we just kind of keep adding dishes to the dishwasher and run it about every 2-3 days. Well, our dishwasher was jam-packed, and so because we do not live in town, we have a well. Well, the well has to have electricity to pump the water. The only way that we can pump the water is to shut everything else in the house off. We have a small generator, but it does not run the whole house. If we need water, it can only pump the water. We can't have it on the freezers. We can't have any lights on, anything else, only the water. So we shut everything off and got the pump up and running, and surprisingly I had a little bit of hot water left in the hot water tank. We do have a blanket around it and such, and yesterday we did take showers because, trust me, we needed it. So today I am washing dishes by the generator. So we have lots of things to get done today. I don't have any laundry. I mean, I need to do some laundry. We cannot run the dryer, so I will probably have to wash some things out, just a few things, by hand and hang them on the line. I do have baby chicks. If you've been watching our videos, you know that I hatched out chicks last week. They are exactly like a week old. Well, they were born on Monday and Tuesday a week ago. So I've been really worried because they don't have the heat lamp on them because our power is out. But I've been checking them, and I kind of put a towel over them to help hold in some of the heat, and they seem like they've been doing fine. I do, however, need to clean the brooder today because it's a large Rubbermaid tub, and it's starting to smell, and they're in my house. So I don't feel comfortable putting them outside in the big brooder until the power comes back on so that we can have the heat lamp on for them at night. So I'm going to go ahead and get some dishes done here. I've got my regular drain tray, and I took out my tray to my dishwasher, and that's how I'm going to get my dishes done today. I don't know how much hot water's in the hot water heater, but I'm going to do my best to get these rinsed, washed and rinsed. I'm not going to make you wash my dishes, so I will be back. Okay, dishes are done. These are all clean, rinsed, and draining. I'm just going to let them drip dry so I can take advantage of the water while it is on the pump. And then I will come back and put all of these away and put the empty trays back in the dishwasher. I did put a little bit of water in the sink, so as we dirty dishes, we can semi-rinse them to put them in the dishwasher in case the power comes back on in a day or two. And I've also filled this pot here, oops, there we go, with water for us to use that we can wash dishes, especially like pots and pans. I mean, with only 2 of us, we have quite a few dishes that we can go a few days by just rinsing them and putting them in the dishwasher. But now I need to get on to the next project, including water, that needs water. Okay, so here is the chicks that are 1 week old, and the bin that I am using for a brooder. It's starting to smell pretty ripe today. It's been a week. So we need to get this cleaned out. To do so, I'm going to put the chicks in this box and close the box. Yes, they'll be in the dark, but just for a short time. And then I'm going to take all of this, the whole bin outside, dump out the shavings into our compost, and clean out their food and water. Then I will bring the bin back in once it's washed out. And get it dried up and get everything put back in for the chicks. So let me get them out of here first. Shh, it's okay. Hey. You let me pick you up. Yes. There's one. When I put you back in, I'll pet you each one. Calm you down. Here, come back here. This one I call Blondie. She's the only one that formally has a name right now. I don't know why her feathers aren't as poofy today. It's like they've been wet. I will close this up once I get them all in here, just to make sure they don't hop out on me. Even in 1 week's time, they're growing. Oh, see, it's trying to get out. You stay in there, little bugger. I don't want to have to chase you into bed and everything. Okay. I'm very excited that all 15 are still with me. Some are quite a bit bigger than others, and I'm wondering if that means they're going to be roosters. If so, I'll have some for sale. Okay, so I've washed up the water, and this is what I have it sit on in the coop to help keep some of the litter out, and I've cleaned that up as well. It's just the clay pot tray is what that is. Okay, so now I need to go outside and clean up that bin. So the chicken water looks like it's about empty. I need to pull those and fill them up with water also. And I've emptied the bin. I do have a hose out here. Hopefully it's still on so that I can scrub those up and fill them. Otherwise I'll have to take them. Oh, it looks like he disconnected them. So I'll have to take it over to the pump house. So I double checked their water. It's still pretty full. I dumped out the bottom where it was kind of dirty, but the water does go up to the top ring. So they still have about 4 gallons of water in there. So I do not need to mess with that today. So that's a relief. One thing off my to-do list. So I have a bathtub scrubber with a handle so that I don't have to actually touch the feces to scrub it. And this is kept just for the chickens. You can probably hear that motor in the background. That is our generator. Okay, so the temporary brooder is clean, and I'm gonna just leave it up here to dry. That's our generator over there. As I said, it's not a big one, but I highly recommend you get a generator and a gas stove. It makes living off grid a whole lot easier. This here is the brooder in which the chicks will be moved to. Once we get power back on and I can put a heat lamp in this corner, it will give them much, much more room and will hold them for quite some time while I build them another coop to grow out in, because I can't put them in with the adult birds. Okay, the chick's temporary brooder is cleaned up, dried, and I put down about an inch and a half of wood shavings. You always want to make sure they're not cedar, because cedar is not good for chickens. These are pine shavings, which is what you should use. Let's go ahead and get it in that spare bedroom and get their food and water set back up. Okay, chicks are all back in their little temporary brooder and happy with fresh water, and I just need to get them a little chick grit. They did have it starting to smell in here, so I opened the window. This is also my grow room. So on to the next thing. So next up, I'm watering all of the raised beds and containers in the garden. The in-ground garden is still damp enough in most cases, but I just looked over there and it's drier than I thought, so I may have to do some watering over there too, because I do see my beans are trying to come up. So we have to water all of this. And I have some back there by the chicken coop. Raised beds. And then we'll check the in-ground garden. It's taken a long time, so it'll go down to a trickle and then it kicks up and it waters a little more. Taking me, like I said, a long time to get the watering done. That's the only bad thing about raised beds and pots. You do have to water more often because they drain off. And of course you have to have drain holes in them, otherwise the roots will rot. See how it goes down to a trickle? Hardly anything coming out of it. But they haven't been watered since the storm. Obviously they didn't need watered Saturday because they were drenched from the storm. And I typically like to water every day when it's dry, and because of no power and of course the pump not working then, I haven't watered then. And I'm not even drenching these, I'm just trying to give them a little drink. So we finished the watering and Wade is on his way in to flip the breaker off for the water pump and on for the freezers, because they have been on for about 3 hours. And the generator has been running for about 30 hours. So after an hour or two for the freezers, they'll need to be flipped off and give the generator a break to cool down. So our stove is a natural gas stove converted to propane. And then we have a propane tank that holds several months worth of propane, and that would be used for heating if it was winter time and for cooking. Since I've had a propane stove, I'd never go back to electric. I like the fact that when you turn the burner on, heat is instant, the fire is instant. Now this particular one would use electric to spark the igniter. However, with the power off, I just use a lighter and light it that way. So another thing that you would want to do to be prepared for power outages or living off grid is to have a good can opener. Electric can openers we could use it with our generator, but we don't turn that on because it would overload the generator and throw the breaker. Another thing we do to be prepared is we have a number of oil lamps, And we have several bottles always on hand of lamp oil. That way we're never really in the dark. And we also have a number of battery operated type lanterns for camping. Although when we sit around in the evening, we can watch TV while the freezers are running and the refrigerators. And that's pretty much been our only light. We just use a flashlight to typically get around. But we have oil lamps if we want to. So another question you need to ask yourself is, how much food do you have on hand in case the roads are impassable for a significant amount of time? Canning is a great way to help ensure that you have plenty of food on hand. Another source of cooking could be your barbecue grill. So ours runs on briquettes. We don't have to worry about running out of gas, but we do need to make sure that we have briquettes. And those could be stored long term, like in a trash can or something like that, where you can have large quantities. Another thing that we have available to us is our camp stove combination outdoor oven. So the top is a camp stove, and then it also has a built-in oven. It does run on propane, so again, that's only good as long as we have propane available. However, for long term, and I can't reach the box to show you any pictures up there, but we do have a solar oven, and we also have a couple of solar panels in these boxes that can power things long term. This is our generator. Again, it would be only available to us for a few days before it would be too cost prohibitive. It cost us about $50 a day to run this generator. So our power just came back on. It was off for 4 days and we spent $200. The generator does plug into a mechanism plug on our house. And in the house you have to shut it off so it doesn't backfeed and possibly kill people, linemen. It does need to be properly used, so please do research or have a professional install and explain it how to use it. When not in use, our generator is secured out of the weather. Another method of cooking would be on an open fire. Ideally, you would have a grate and a tripod to put over the fire. The grate would hold a pan. The tripod would hold a Dutch oven and different various things like that. Hanging coffee pots. So, for longer term, this would be a great option. So we are striving to be self-sustainable in case we need to for the long term. In the short term, of course, we're using freezers and such, but I am canning more and more. Also, the canner that I have is an All-American, and it can be used on an open fire so that I could can up meat in the freezers rather than us lose it. So if you're finding this video to be educational or helpful, please like, subscribe, and share our videos. It's the best way that you can help us to grow our channel. Thank you so much for watching. Jimmy Branch Homestead.